All right, let's do it. So I'm gonna be very clear, very quick, or as quick as I can be. Here at the park, another 5 miles, another 20 pounds in the vest, and 300 something push-ups. So, and it's cold. It's cold today. So men, don't be stupid. Stop being stupid. That's as clear as I can say it. Stop being stupid. Stop saying not all nonsense, and stop thinking things are going to get better, because they're not. They're not going to get better unless you make them better. That's just the simple truth. The very simple truth is not going to get better unless you make it better. This whole PhD thing that we do, especially in the black community, where it's like, you're going to pray, what they call it, pray, hope, and dream. And I started using PhD, pray, hope, and dream. That's what it is. It's about to be New Year's. What's going to happen? MVP, manifesting vision boards and more prayer. Stop. You have to take action and do something on your life. Let me break these things down. We're going to start off with your childhood. If you're an RBM, like I'm an RBM, which is what? What's an RBM? Raised by mom, you're screwed. You're screwed. Statistics show a household that was raised, that men who are raised by their moms turn out the worst. Period in the story. It's a study. They did the study. I don't got to make this stuff up. They did the study. Unless you become like me, or unless you're somebody like me, a Sigma, very self-aware, who's very autodidactic. What does that mean? That means I'm big on learning things on my own. I don't got to go to school to learn these things. I can sit and learn them by the same textbooks that they're teaching you all that garbage about psychology. Same textbooks. The DSM-5, I got a DSM-5. What's a DSM? The Diagnostic Statistical Manual. That's the Bible for psychology. I have one. I own one. I read that. I read books on psychology. The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. This is not rocket science. So unless you're one of those people who can just get it together, stop. Stop with the pray, hope, and dream. Because you were raised by your mom, which means you're probably illogical, irrational, and highly emotional. Why? Because women tend to be irrational, illogical, and highly emotional. And that's not a dig on women. It's just how women are. That's another thing. We can't say shit bad about a woman without it being, oh, you don't like women. Just shut up. And if you're one of those people who not able to comprehend because your brain is not developed and you can't comprehend what I'm saying, it's going to show in the comments. People will be like, yeah, it's going to show. You can't comprehend. You're not smart enough. You're not. So, with that being said, you're an RBM. You were raised by mom. So you were highly illogical, irrational, and highly emotional. And that shows in your life. That shows how you deal with people. That shows how you deal with situations. You deal with it like a woman would deal with it. Why? Because from 0 to 7, when your subconscious mind is being formed, when your paradigm is being formed, you were around your mother. Your dad wasn't there. They're like, oh, well, if the men were there, it wouldn't be like that. Let's talk about what it is. Why dad wasn't there, he wasn't there. We're going to keep dragging that on. You're now a 30, 40, 50-year-old man still saying my dad wasn't there? Really? We got to move forward. This world is moving so fast. You have no idea. You don't follow the things I follow. This world is moving so fast. By the time I make this video, it'll probably be obsolete. By the time I post this video, it'll probably be obsolete. You have to be on your game, man. You have to be like, I'm on this by myself. You got to be in the mindset, I got to move by myself, and I need to move like yesterday. But because you were raised by a woman, you're going to pray, hope, and dream and think everything's going to be okay and everything's going to be all right. It's not. Things are not going to be okay, and things are not going to. These next 4 years, even though Trump's in office and people are like, well, it's because he's in office. If he wasn't, things would be great. Things have been going downhill for a long time. It's called a frog in a pot. You put a frog in a hot water, it jumps out. You put a frog in cold water, turn it up real slow, the frog doesn't know it, right? That's what's been going on in your mentality for the past 20, 30 years in this country. They've been talking about Social Security for how long? A while. How long they been talking about we need to do something with these taxes? A while. How long they been talking about we need to cut back on a lot of things? A while. Medicaid and stuff for kids and this, that, and the end. How long they been talking about this stuff? at least for the last 10 years. I would say more like 2030. I remember them talking about raising retirement a long time ago. And here we are. We're starting to see those roosters are coming home to roost. And you're just like, well, it'll work out. Things are not going to work out. Things are not going to work out. You have no clue how things are not going to work out if you don't make these things work out. You need to have a plan. But since you're an RBM, you're raised by your mom, you still think Jesus is going to come down, or God's going to come down, or Allah, or Buddha, or the universe is going to do it. It's not. An object in motion stays in motion. It's not. Now, let's move on. Let's talk about these relationships in this black community. We never had a black community. There's never been a black community. We've always been divided. There's always been classes. When I talk about classes, I talk about C. C means social, economic, and education. There's always been 3 classes in this country. Always. There's always been 3 classes. We've never been a joint community. People didn't like Martin Luther King. There were classes of people who do not like Martin Luther King. They were like, what are you doing? Stop. Sit down somewhere. But see, you believed that everybody was just in love with the idea. Even King himself said he marches people into a burning house. Yes. That's hard to grasp for a lot of people. But, they want to live in delusion. See, I'm not a realist. I'm not an optimist. I'm not a pessimist. I'm a realist. I see what things are. I don't sit there and hope that things are something. I don't hope that it's warm. I know it's cold, and I deal with the cold. So let's keep moving. We've never been a joint community. C, social, economic, and education. We've always been divided. You can see it in our neighborhoods. You got the rich white neighborhoods, rich black neighborhoods. You got the middle neighborhood. You got the middle. You got the lower. You see it all the time. You hell of a lot to see it in definitely here in Atlanta. You can see the separations very clear. And you think those people want to associate with those people? We've never been a whole black community. Let's talk about this whole definitely relationships. I made a post that black women aren't yours. That post, it's gone pretty good. Because people were like, yeah. The people were like, no. I'm going to tell you like this. Imagine you like, damn, I wish I had my G-Wagon back. You were like, dude, you never had a G-Wagon. Yeah, man, I had a G-Wagon back in the day. I'm like, dude, that G-Wagon was on lease. You were leasing the G-Wagon. That G-Wagon was never yours. And now that G-Wagon went back, now you're like, damn, I'm going to get that G-Wagon back. No, you're not. And that's where we are. See, we didn't realize that black women weren't ours. I didn't realize that until I started reading and researching. They were never ours. That's why I made the whole video. The whole video is on my YouTube channel. Watch the whole video. But see, your attention span is shit because of TikTok and Instagram and everything else. You can't watch a whole video to get the whole understanding of why I went through the whole process. People stop at one 60-minute video of me saying black women are not ours. They stop at that one video and they're like, oh, you're wrong. Yes, they are. Exceptions to the rule does not negate the rule. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. Because there's exceptions don't necessarily mean that the rule's no good. It doesn't work that way. So we're never going to have that back. The Civil Rights Act was a wrap. After that, black women, they don't have no reason to come back. Come back for what? And do what? For what reason? Come back to make sandwiches and listen to men they don't want to listen to in the first place? For what? What's the incentive for them to come back? What's the incentive for black men to even deal with the bullshit? We've been dealing with that whole RBM, raised by mom. But once you get older and get our shit together, we realize, hey, we don't like this. This back and forth arguing and fussing. And when you have a decent relationship, you realize how smooth it can be. You really don't want all that conflict. A lot of times women want conflict and chaos. Ooh, can't say nothing about women. I know. I just did. Get over it. You gonna do cancel me? How you gonna cancel somebody who got 300 subs? If nothing else, I'll go viral before I get canceled. There is no black community. The black women are not coming back. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? You gonna keep hoping and praying it happens? Not gonna happen. What are you gonna do for the next 30 years? You may live for the next 30 years. 30 years. The average man in this country, the United States, passes away roughly about 77 years old. Go research it. Everything I've said, you can go research. Everything I said is in research. I don't got to make this stuff up. I've only been on the planet for 50 years. There's people who's been on this planet long before me. So stop with the whole, well, you just don't learn, because your brain can't comprehend. You're not smart enough. Oh, I'm smart enough. Do the research and then come back on the channel and say something. Do the research first. Do the research first. Because you'll find that I'm right. That's another thing. People just don't want to be wrong. I don't have to make this stuff up. I'm a researcher. This is what I do. I look up stuff all the goddamn time. That's all I do. Because I know for a man, and you're alone, you have to do this on your own, dudes. Men, you have to do this on your own. There is nobody's coming to save you. How many times you got to keep hearing that? How many times you got to keep hearing that nobody's coming to save you? How many times you got to keep hearing that nobody cares? You see homeless black men all the time. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're going to always go for the women and children first. And the whole Titanic thing, the women and children, the men died. It's the same scenario. That's where we are right now. But, what do I know? You're going to still pray, hope, and dream. That's not true. There's always a possibility. There's always hope. And there's always, you're a frog in a pot. That's what you are. You're waiting to be boiled. And when that time comes to be boiled, you're going to be like, damn, I could have did something about my health. I could have did something about my relationship. I could have did something about where I live, the people I'm around, what I call reps, religion, environment, people, social media. You can do these things today and fix that problem. Today. But you don't want to go through the process. You got to change things about your life. Your subconscious got you locked in with this whole just sit back, relax, and work-life balance and the kids and what about the wife and everything else. Dude. You got to be focused on yourself. Well, wrong. You tell me that I shouldn't be focused on the kids and the wife? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. That's what the fuck I'm telling you. Come on, man. Be honest with yourself. You have to focus on yourself. You pour so much energy into other people. Nobody's pouring energy back in you. Of course, somebody's going to say, not all, because your brain is not able to withstand or comprehend that nothing's guaranteed except death and taxes. Those are the dumb people. Whenever I hear not all, well, the people you must talk to, not all, the people you must know. What people you know, the people I know. That's because you're stupid and they just want to be argumentative for no reason. Because if you're that intelligent, that you're hanging around such smart people that know that this isn't happening or know that this is happening in your life, why would you come online and type something like that? Because you're really not that smart. I look at stuff all the time that don't reflect on me. All the time. That's what they do is break down black men online. All the time. Am I sitting in there typing away, not all, not me, not my situation? No, I look at it and say, okay, yeah, and I keep scrolling. That's not me. Well, there are guys who don't work out. There are guys who don't eat right. There are guys who... That's not me. Keep scrolling. I don't sit there and say, not all, I do it. It's a waste of time. You're wasting your time going through trivial shit. I say all this to say, man, get your shit together, especially if you're an RBM. If you was raised by mom, you need to get it together. You need to get it together because you're irrational, illogical, and highly emotional, and that's affecting your life, and that's affecting all your decisions. I got to be here for the kids. I got to be here for the wife, happy life, and blah, 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 and you will die never knowing what peace of mind is like. I said that before. You will die. Death. Never knowing what peace of mind look like. What about the kids? And what about this? And what about that? You worry about yourself first. When the mask drops down, when you're on the plane, it pressurizes, the mask drop down, put in your face first, right? You so worried about other shit, your life is going down the dumpster fire. Your health is going down to a dumpster fire. And there is no balance. Stop with this balance shit. There gotta be a way to balance this out. There is no balance. This planet is not balanced. It's not. The planet's not balanced. It's moving, it's doing things. That's why the wind's blowing. That's why it's cold now. It was hot a couple months ago. It's going to be windy. It's going to rain. It's always snowing, hurricanes. There's always something. This planet is not balanced. So what do you think? You're going to try to balance something that the planet is not balanced, and it's way more technical than you are. But no, probably let this blow over your head, which is cool, because you're an RBM. And your mom is telling you just keep praying and hoping that things will get better. And you got PhD, pray, hope, and dream. And you're going to keep praying things will get better. MVP, New Year's, Happy New Year's, New Year, New You. You could be doing New Year's right now. You ain't got to wait. But, you've been doing the same thing for the past 20 years. Who really sat you down? You weren't sitting down with your mom talking about this, because it wouldn't make any sense talking to your mom, but she don't understand you because you're a man. When you talk to men or see men like me who are out here doing things, it triggers you. It does something to you. He think he knows this. Who he think he is? And then you got the soft men. Who you got the women and the soft men who are both attacking the men like me. Really? You're just mean. You don't like women. You got to treat them like queens, this, that, and the other. When women keep coming online and showing you their asshole to kiss, and you're sitting there saying, no, there are queens. We got to save them. Save who? The minute, very small group of women who want to be saved. And it's hard to find them. For the majority of women, they don't want it. Once you get your mind right, it's easy to decipher other people very quickly. That's what I do all day long. I can break people down faster than an improper fraction. Because I got my mind right. So my mind is right. I've been working on me for the past 20 years. It's easy. I can see it a mile away. So when you got yourself right and you're dealing with a woman and she ain't got herself right, it's easy to break it down. Easy. You're a woman that's like, why are you so aggressive? Why are you so this and why are you so that? No, I'm not aggressive. I just speak like a man. Men speak how men speak. Men understand other men. I'm not going to be, hey, baby, I'm not going to kick game. I don't kick game. I don't even know what game is. Never had game. My whole life, I never had no, hey, girl, how you doing? Let me talk to you for a minute. That ain't how I roll. I ain't got time. That's just wasted energy and wasted time. Are you always just like this? Are you always like this? No, I'm not. But when I'm hella focused, I'm hella focused. When it's time to get real, it's time to get real. But when it ain't, it's time to chill, then it's time to chill. The problem is you want to chill more than you're focused, and you wonder why things are not working out. Men, you are by yourselves out here. You are by your goddamn selves. And nobody's coming to help you. And you have no idea how to fix it either. You gonna do keep praying yourself to death? That's why I have an offer. The offer is called peace of mind. That's why I have an offer. The offer is called the 3 B's to a better life. Because nobody's going to tell you this stuff. Nobody's going to show you how to do this. If I told you to fix your life, you would know the first thing that you would start praying. You maybe you would get a pencil and paper out and start writing something down. But what would you write down? When it came to excluding people, are you ready to exclude people? Are you ready to drop off the people you really care about? But you're seeing that they ain't really helping you. They're just there. Are you ready for that? See, a lot of people ain't ready for that. See, when it comes to dropping off, like your parents, your brother, sister, your wife, soon to be ex-wife, are you ready to drop these people off? Are you ready to push that limit when it comes to even your children? Are you ready for that life? Are you ready for that life? You have no idea what it's like. But once you get there and you have peace of mind, then you'll be like, okay, I understand it. A lot of people ain't ready for that life. A lot of people still live in the same place they grew up at. They're afraid to leave their city for God knows whatever reason. Are you ready for that life? Because you're going to be in solitude a lot. Are you ready for that? Some people can't be by themselves. So, hell, I can't help everybody. 6, how you copy. Copy, you clear cap what you got. That's it, 6%. Everybody's not coming with you. I know that for a fact. So when I talk to people like this, they start to get the, oh, well, everybody can't be you and this, that, and the other. I know. And I look at their lives, I look at my life, and I'm like, Now, is my life peachy and clean and everything is great? Hell no. Life's always going to push something on you. Always. But it's a lot easier to deal with it when you have a plan. It's a lot easier to deal with it when you're with Pam, purpose, aim, and mission. It's a lot easier when you have peace of mind. It's a lot easier when you have your reps in control. Religion, environment, people, social media. You can deal with things a lot easier when you have all those things in control. When you're just going around hoping and praying and dreaming and vision boards and manifesting and something happens and you're like, oh shit. I got caught up in that relationship. You should have known you was never, man, yeah, but I just thought things would work out. Things never work out. You want to know why things don't work out? Because if you ain't worked it out in your brain, how you expect it to work out with somebody else? You ain't right, but you're going to go with somebody who's not right. That's that trauma bonding shit. But I'll make another video about that. Because a lot of y'all are just trauma bonding. And a lot of men are just stuck on this raised by mom stuff where they can't unhinge themselves from that. And they have a problem with that too. Because they've been raised by their mother. So they're doing everything they can to stay with their child's mom or their wife. Because they want to fight the ghost of their dad who may have left or did whatever. Good luck with that. You only live once. The average man dies about 77, 80 years old. Do the math. I'm going to go do these 5 miles to try to extend that a little bit. 6. I'm out.